Entire industries, as a result of this, will now grapple with how to operate in the light of the latest findings. The key to opening up, we've talked about it a dozen times, if not more, on this programme, has been vaccine passports and COVID certificates. The Delta variant raises the question about whether those measures are good enough, and if they're not, what do you do? For instance, on Broadway, theatre owners say proof of vaccination will be needed to attend a show. Audiences will also be required to stay masked unless eating or drinking in a designated area. Live theatre only returned to Broadway in April after a year-long closure. Dr. Carlos Del Rio is the Executive Associate Dean at Emory University School of Medicine. The doctor is with me. So we're all agreed, I think, that this changes the outlook, the vision, if you like, that we have. Does this mean we have to rethink the way we're going to do business?
Richard, I think it probably does. We just don't know enough, right? This is moving incredibly fast, and I think we're all trying to figure out what to do. I think what businesses will realize is that the most important thing is to get as many people vaccinated as possible, and that's why many organizations, you see Google, you see many others, including the federal government here in the United States, are going to require employees to be vaccinated, because at the end of the day, the more people you're vaccinated, the better you are protected.
Right. Okay, so let's extrapolate from that. Take what you've just said. Now let's layer on top of that what the CDC's new data suggests. Those vaccinated people can still infect others. Therefore, do we need to rethink, for example, reopening stadia, shops, subways, back to a mask mandate to break the chain of transmission?
I think as long as there's a lot of transmission happening, like we are currently having right now in the United States, where the CDC says there's substantial or high level of transmission, the answer to that is yes, masking is required. I think if we can bring the level of transmission back down to low level of transmission by doing those things, you may be able to then drop a mask mandate while you still try to get more people immunized. So this is going to be a little bit of playing a chess game, right, in which you may do a couple things right now and then you wait and you do something else. I don't think we're going to be able to say, I can tell you what we need to do right now. I'm not sure I can tell you what we need to do in 6 months.
Isn't the danger here that we see the numbers of infections go up, as indeed the United Kingdom did, although it's coming down, but we see the numbers going up. We don't really see a massive uptick in hospitalizations or deaths because so many people are vaccinated. And we all just think, well, let's get on with it. Let's just deal with it. I mean, you know, nothing we can do about it. It's there. Australia has shown it's going to end up on your doorstep whether you like it or not. So let's just live with it and get on with it.
Well, I think that's one of the approaches that people are starting to think that it may be necessary. As long as it's a global pandemic, this is going to be the case. We're going to go through periods of up and down, masking and unmasking, and it may be that at some point in time we just get on with it. But I think it's going to change how we approach different things. I see increasingly life being difficult if you're not vaccinated. You know, there may be businesses, you said Broadway shows, you may not be able to travel. So at the end of the day, populations that have more people vaccinated are going to be able to do more things than those that don't. And in that respect, Richard, my biggest concern is that around the globe, in most low and middle income countries, very few people are still vaccinated. So this can cause actually a significant global division in which people may be leaving in Africa or Latin America may not be able to travel to Europe or may not be able to travel to North America because they are not vaccinated. So we need to be sure that global vaccine equity happens if we don't want to exacerbate the enormous differences between those that have and have not.
Doctor, this is the global inequities. We've talked a lot on this program, and we've spoken to people about this. I mean, it's here, it's there. I mean, it's already here, and it is worsening. But to take your point, this global inequality or inequity of vaccine distribution is now going to be made worse if, for instance, the US and others, and the EU, the developed world, now thinks it needs to boost vaccines in the autumn, like Israel's starting to do with the over 60s. If they need more vaccines in the developed world, that's going to be less that will be donated to COVAX. This is a situation that's going to get worse.
Undoubtedly, that's going to be the case. And I suspect that because of this Delta variant and because of the breakthrough infections we're seeing, I suspect that in the not too distant future, we will start seeing recommendations from the FDA and other regulatory agencies about the use of boosters.
Doctor, I appreciate your time.